So we're going to use the product rule to multiply or the quotient rule to divide on these problems. So in order to multiply or divide our radicals, we need to have the same index or root. So we have to have cubed root and cubed root or fourth root and fourth root. You can't multiply a cubed root times fourth root. So because they are the same, this will become just cubed root of 3 times 9 on the inside. And 3 times 9 will get us a cubed root of 27, which is equal to 3. Here we have the fourth root. So we're going to have the fourth root of 10 x cubed times 27. Well, 10 times 27 will get us 270 times our x cubed. Well, 270 is not going to break down. We can try to break it down, but it's not going to. We're not going to end up with 4 of the same number that we can find a group of. So we can do 10 times 27, which gets us 2 times 5, gets us 3 times 9, and 3 times 3. We only can find a group of 3 of the same number. So 270 will not break down, and we only have 3 of our x's because we have x cubed. So this is going to be just the fourth root of 270 x cubed because it's not going to simplify. On our next problem, we have 75x squared y over 49. So on this one, it can be easier to break it down into a separate radical fraction. So I'm going to leave the square root of 75x squared y in the top part and then split it and have the square root of 49. Because 49 is a perfect square, and I know that's going to get me to 7. So I'm going to have 7 on the bottom, because once I take the square root of something and it's a whole number, I'm going to let go of the radical. On the square root of 75, I need to break that one apart. So I'm going to bring it down over here. I've got the square root of 75. That'll be 3 times 25, which is 5 times 5. Looking for groups of 2 because I'm doing a square root. So here's 2 5s. So that'll get me a 5 on the outside, and the 3 is going to stay on the inside. So when I come over here, I'm going to have my 5 on the outside, and I'm going to have the square root of 3 on the inside. Now I have to deal with my variables. So x squared, I have 2 of those, divided by 2, get me x on the outside, gives me a group of 2. But on the y, I only have one y. I can't take a group of 2 out of there, so it'll be y on the inside of the radical. And that's not going to simplify any further. So the next one we're going to multiply. So basically what we're doing is distribution. So because I have square roots on each of them, I can multiply it through. So I'll have 6 on the outside, and on the inside I'll have the square root of 7 times 11. Plus, I'll have 6 on the outside and the square root of 7 times 7 on the inside. So this will get me 6 square root of 77, because that's what 7 times 11 is, plus 6 times the square root of 49. Well, 77, I can see I only had 7 times 11, and those are both prime, so they're not going to break down any further. So that's going to stay 6 times the square root of 77. The square root of 49 is 7, so this will get me 6 times 7. So it'll get me 6 square root of 77 plus 6 times 7 is 42. On our next problem, we have a situation where a lot of us would refer to it as FOIL. Basically, we're going to take the first one times both terms, and then we'll take the second one times both terms. So if I take the first one, I've got 9 times 3. 9 times 3 on the outside, and on the inside I have 17 times 17, plus I'll have 9 times 8 times the square root of 17. On the inside I've got 5 times 3, 5 times 3 times the square root of 17, so that'll be plus 5 times 3 times the square root of 17, and then 5 times 8, which will get me 40. So if I have a number that's being multiplied by itself, basically that's 17 squared. So that's going to get me 27 times, if I take the square root of 17 times 17, I'm going to get 17. You could multiply that out, and if you multiply it out, you're going to get a big number, take the square root of it, or understand that that's 17 times 17, so the square root, I'm looking for a group of 2, will get me 17. 9 times 8 is 72 times the square root of 17, plus 15 times the square root of 17, plus 40. So 27 times 17 is going to get me 459, plus I have 72 plus 15 will get me 87, square root of 17, plus 40. Now I can combine the two constant numbers there. So that's going to get me 499 plus 87, square root of 17.